You have what you think is a great business idea, but you're not sure if there are people that will actually want your products and services. The next step is to actually validate your business. And there's two different ways that I suggest doing this. First, you have soft validation, which is what you can do right now without an audience, literally as I teach you how to do it. The second is hard validation, and I'll talk about that coming right up. But first, let's talk about soft validation, which basically means doing just a little bit of market research yourself. I like using tools like Google, Facebook, and YouTube to see if a topic is popular. Now, I'm a digital media company, so this might look a little different than what you might do if, for example, you're creating a brick and mortar business. You still have to do digital marketing as a brick and mortar business. But whereas I, for this example, am going to be looking to see if personal finance for millennials is a great topic for a business or a great business idea, you might be looking at, oh, is there another beer brewery in my city? Or how have breweries done in the local cities around me? That might be the kind of market research you do to see what type of competition is out there, if there's an audience for that competition. It's relatively easy to go online and see what companies are doing what you're doing, how are they doing it, and are they successful. If there's another company that's doing exactly what you're doing and it doesn't seem like they have a lot of followers on social media, it doesn't look like they have a lot of business going to their website, then it might mean that your business idea is not valid. Not necessarily, because some companies are really, really good without that social media presence, but it's an easy indicator for a lot of online products and online businesses. So let's dive in and actually do a bit of validation. For this example, as I mentioned, I'm thinking about a business geared towards millennials about personal finance. I know personal finance is a huge topic, but I feel like there's a niche or an area that's not being served as much as it could be, and that's finance for millennials. So the first thing that I would do is go to Amazon and search for your topic. So I literally typed in personal finance for millennials, and I see a few books pop up. So I don't have this, I'm not the first person with this idea, but right off the bat, I can tell that this idea might not be the best idea in terms of how we position it. Millennials might not be the ones searching for personal finance advice. And what happens when millennials grow up? And does this idea of personal finance for millennials just not exist anymore? Maybe a better idea is personal finance for young adults or personal finance for kids even. Because on Amazon, if I just type in, let's just type in personal finance, for example, when you type in personal finance, you see a lot more books with a lot more reviews. Now, the total number of books is an indicator, but better yet, it's the number of reviews that kind of indicate whether a topic is popular or not. Let's do one more search for personal finance for, and sometimes I like to see what the auto search results pop up. So you see personal finance for dummies, personal finance for teens, personal finance for kids. So let's do for teens. There's a decent amount of books, some with more reviews than the millennial idea. So this automatically tells me that personal finance for teens might be a better idea. Young adults. Let's just see. Now here, personal finance for young adults, we got more books with more reviews. Now this isn't an end-all be-all sort of test to see if a topic is perfect or not, but I know just from some of these and some of the authors that I see that personal finance for just young adults might be a better target audience. Let's do the same on YouTube. So I searched for personal finance for millennials, and I already see that the first result is actually from a channel called Millennial Money. So this is exactly my idea. And let me just go to their channel just to see what they're actually doing. But I'm guessing this is a channel that is geared towards millennials. Let's just see if it's actually a relevant channel, if they're posting a lot, because I see the review subscribers is very low. Man, they're posting a few videos, but not that many. Now, this is a good sign. Did it just not work? Was there not an audience for it? Or did she just not push far enough or hard enough to make it work? Who knows? Let's go back and let's search for just personal finance. Lots more views on these videos when you get to personal finance. What I'll also do is I'll just search for channels instead of videos to see what types of channels there are. What I've actually personally heard is that personal finance is an area on YouTube that is underserved. That's something I've heard through some other research. So that's partly why I think YouTube does need some more personal finance channels. But I don't think, again, that personal finance for millennials is a great idea. Lastly, let's go over to Facebook. Search for personal finance for millennials, no groups. And I'm searching for groups because that will tell me, are people interested in this topic? Let's just search for personal finance like we always do. Groups, lots of groups with lots of members. Investing groups, personal budgeting groups, lots of different groups here about personal finance. So what this soft validation tells me is that personal finance might be a good idea for a company, but not necessarily geared at quote unquote millennials, because that leaves out a lot of people who might be interested in my business or services. So let's move on to hard validation, which is a little bit different. This will give you an even better idea if your business is valid. With hard validation, I'm talking about cold calling people, sending out surveys, sending out emails to people, and literally asking them either, one, is this a good idea? Or asking them what they want from you. If you are able to build up a reputation on Facebook or on social media, if you have any sort of email list, you can ask the audience or your audience what they're looking for. You can also post surveys online. Find social media groups related to that topic, for example, personal finance, and put up a survey. Use surveymonkey.com or Google Forms to quickly and easily create surveys that you can just share online to get feedback. This could be just about your business itself or about a specific part of your business, a specific service that you're going to provide. And that's what I've done with my audience right now, because we put out a lot of online courses and media. And so we'll ask our audience, what courses do you want? What videos do you want? What types of social media posts do you want? What types of podcasts, blog articles do you want? And in the next lesson, I show you an actual example of a survey that I sent out, including all the survey copy, the results we got, and it shows you exactly why sending out surveys can be so powerful. So these are two very easy ways to do market research. You could take an entire class about actually doing market research, and that would take many hours. But if you want to just get started and jump right in, these are a few ways that you can get started today.